What's up, everybody?
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the Tug of More.
That's right. Just a conversation between two friends.
That's right. We're friends.
Where we are, where we want to be, where we wish we were, all the things.
Believe it or not, we fight pretty often.
We said it the other day. We kind of argue every day.
We argue on a consistent basis because we have differing opinions and perspectives.
Correct.
But we're still friends.
That's right.
And I think that, the truth is, if someone won't argue with you, are they really your friend?
Right.
If somebody won't tell you you're wrong, or I don't agree with,
or I don't all the way agree, or could you see my perspective maybe?
Could you see my perspective maybe? Because yours is definitely wrong and my perspective is right.
No.
That's what we have.
Yes.
And so conversation between two friends
That's
about
right.
where we are.
Right.
But yet where we want to be.
That's
We're
true.
always tugging, pulling into more. And so that's why it's called the Tug of More.
The Tug of More.
I'm excited because today we have our producer, Julia, in the house.
That's right. Julia's with us hanging out. She's the best. And she's like, yes, guys, I'm
She's
excited.
Like, don't. She's waving to the non-cameras.
I love her.
Our building's a little cold.
Yep. That's where I got my big puffy vest.
Whitney is wearing, she took that from Biggie Smalls, and
Yep.
she's wearing it today.
I sure did.
We don't have heat in the building yet.
Not yet.
Because up until
Today, Junior.
we have not officially had our certificate of occupancy.
Yeah.
But we just got it.
That's right.
So now we
Don't
are
tell
too
nobody.
legit to quit.
That's right. So now we're getting our AC guy to come clean all the vents and things for the heat.
Yeah, our AC works, but our heat won't work because they got to pump gas into the building. Not that kind of gas. And then it burns the gas and it makes heat.
Yeah.
And so, dude, just in the nick of time.
Just in the nick. Because in January, inevitably, there's going to be like a little snowfall, a little snowpocalypse, which is just like this tiny layer of ice that happens in Texas.
Yeah.
It's not real snow.
So big shout out to our boy, Enrique.
Huge shout out. There's not enough words, not enough time, not enough money in the world and accolades and awards that we can give.
So thankful for Enrique and Cassandra. As they've been faithful to help us get this building renovated and now into completions. We got our CO.
The truth is, though, we were talking about it the other day, Enrique's been running hard for over 3 years, 3.5 years
Well, because
now.
it started with, let's get ready to move into the pig.
When we moved into our temporary building at the top of 2020, Enrique is the one who started designing the crates and the carts and all the
building
pieces.
Teams and
building the teams to do it, and manual labor and mental labor. For the last 3.5 years, he has been the man carrying a ton of weight.
And then, we got a free campus.
Yeah.
But it needed major overhaul.
Yeah.
And so he spearheaded that.
That's right.
And then thankfully we
sold that building.
Blessed with this facility that needed major cosmetic overhaul.
Yep.
And so Enrique has been
he's been running.
Grinding. So shout out to Enrique. Thank you, bro.
If you see him and you know him, give him a hug and a high five.
I carried the renovation that we did at our Matlock building personally. And it was hard. It was hard to pastor and be a GC, general contractor, all at the same time.
Yep.
Because you're loving on people and then screaming at a contractor in the next minute. So I'm so thankful for him picking that up. So today we took our staff to Twisted Root to celebrate.
The original, the OG Twisted Root.
The OG, not the Mansfield one.
No.
Mansfield Twisted Root, pull it together, guys. Your burgers are not as good. They're not as good as the Arlington burgers.
That's
so we went
true.
to Arlington to celebrate. And
we had fun.
So one, we're cold. And then two, we've eaten way too much lunch.
Yeah.
And so if you see a boy nodding off a little bit in this conversation.
But it's like we're tired but cold. Tired but cold, like that. Yeah. Like you fall asleep, but then, I'm cold.
So we got our CO. Yeah. All that means is that we were legally allowed to be here. I'm pretending a little bit. But now we're really all the way legally allowed to be here. Whitney is coughing up a fit.
I don't know what happened.
She's a chihuahua that just has a problem.
I don't know, but
easily affected.
But I'm gonna get over it before the holiday.
In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name, yes.
But the holiday is upon us. We're 4 days. We're 4 days from Christmas. 5 days from Christmas.
5 days from Christmas.
Our last episode, we talked all about Christmas, and the last episode was funny because we didn't actually have any point, any concept.
Which is very difficult for the two of us to not have some sort of point about it. We have conversation in our regular life, but when we're on the podcast, trying every time to make it into a lesson, but it didn't really have a lesson.
Here's what I want to know. If you are on the Tug team and you listen to the last episode, tell us, do you like story time?
Yes.
Or are you no, quit the...
Julia likes story
time. Cut the crap and give us some leadership heat. You tell us.
Yeah.
Because I get so many stories. I just can't always work them in stuff.
That's true.
Yeah, let us know.
We'll share more stories with you. So today we're talking about something that really is basically when this episode is going to air is going to be in between Christmas and New Year's Eve.
We're the day after Christmas.
It's going to be up on the day after Christmas. And I know you're just at home, like, bored and not knowing what to do. So you're going to be listening to this episode so that you can grow in your life and you can shift and make some changes to tug into more. And so we were talking about it. Like, those are the days when that lull gets you.
So here's the title.
Oh, yeah, here's the title.
Am I lazy in the lull?
Yeah.
Question mark.
Yes.
This
is the question.
Am I lazy?
Right.
If it's a lull.
Yes, it's so good. Because what inevitably happens, let's just talk about the week between Christmas and New Year's. Inevitably what happens is we were just talking about it before we started the podcast recording. These are not really sitting jeans.
Not me, Julie and Whitney. I don't know what they're talking about.
These are standing jeans. So thank God I have this vest over it, because sitting jeans means they don't have any give. These jeans are not stretchy jeans. So therefore when I sit down, it's very tight. Like, it's very not super comfortable.
You got some muffin top action?
And so possibly, I don't know, you can't tell because I got this vest on. But you do not wear standing jeans during the week between Christmas and New Year's. Oh. You might not even wear any any pants with button or a zipper.
This is not a problem
Stretchy pants are the way to go in the week between Christmas and New Year's.
Guys always wear belts that have no give.
Belts that have no give?
Yeah, my belt, you can't stretch it with a bulldozer.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, I feel like that's just what guys we live with.
But what happens to your pants? Aren't your pants, are they tight or are they not? No. You guys wear them not tight.
Not as tight.
And then your pants, or your belt is what holds your pants up. That's the whole thing.
I'm happy that the man skinny jean era
has
ended, because that was hard. That was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It was awkward. Should we tell the story about the first time that you and Rachel tried to make me buy some skinny pants?
Word. Well, because my brother was this is a decade ago.
This is a decade ago, so I was still rocking hammer loop pants.
Yeah.
I know hammer loops are back in.
But they were not in then.
When you guys
it's like
tried to get me to
2015, 2016.
It was the end of the Affliction t-shirt era.
Yes, the end of that era.
So I'm still wearing hammer loop pants and Affliction t-shirts.
We're like, no, bro.
And these two take me to the Buckle.
Yep.
And they want me to buy some skinny pants. And so they take me to the Buckle, and then we pick up a sales associate who may or may not.
He was very helpful and very in style, and he was trying to help you go into that style. Let's just say that. That's all we're going to say. That's all we're going to say about that.
All I'm saying is I did not want to come out in these tight pants in front of this man.
No, he didn't. But
because
we were
What?
So we were saying we're going to take you into the next era. You're going to like this. It's going to look good. What's really funny is they were not actually skinny jeans.
Well, so Rachel
they were
and Whitney,
just like a slimmer fit jean.
Whitney and Rachel and this guy, they send me into the dressing room and they start throwing pants over the little over the door,
Yep.
And so I start putting these pants on. I'm like, I'm not coming out in these. Because remember, I've been wearing straight up baggy mugs.
Yeah.
And so when I bought some, I wasn't happy about it.
Here's the problem. We bought them for him to go and speak to a group of teenagers, a giant group of teenagers.
Yeah.
And therefore, insecurity mixed with new style mixed with
no blood flow to my legs.
He had a little bit of like a panic of like, am I really going to wear this? Really? Oh my God.
Yeah. I was in there sweating
but
like a mug.
But he did wear them. Yeah.
I bought them. And before I preached, me and Rachel got in a fight.
Yeah, it's possible.
It was my own fault because I was mad and insecure. I think we did an episode about that somewhere.
Yeah, we did once.
So anyways,
I feel like we talked about
how do we
it
get on talking about skinny pants?
Because the week between Christmas and New Year's, you wear comfy clothes. I almost wore my Tug of War sweats today because I knew we were going to record this episode. Because that is basically what I'm going to live in all that week. I'm just going to change from one sweatsuit to another sweatsuit. Like, that's it. And maybe I'll wear the same one 2 days in a row. Because that week is just a lull. It's like you halfway through that week, you're like, what day is it?
Yeah.
What time is it? You're not going to work. You're not in a regular schedule. You're not in your routine. Your kids are out of school.
Acting a fool.
You're not eating on your regular diet. Like, all of these pieces. You might still be going to the gym, but you're not going at the same 7 a.m. that you normally. You're going to go at like 9 or 11 if you want. You can do anything you want. You can watch a movie. You can stay up late. It's just like this lull of a week. And sometimes you wake up like halfway through the week and you're like, oh my word, I need to get back to real life.
Okay, so hopefully you guys are going to have some time over the holidays that you're just chilling, relaxing.
That's right.
So here's the question. Am I lazy in the lull? I would say no.
Correct. It's a good answer.
I would say, now, old Trustin would have not agreed with this.
No.
New Trustin.
Correct.
But this Trustin says, no, it's not lazy in the lull to sit around and lay on the couch. Listen, you know what my goal is? Watch all the Die Hard movies.
There you go. That's a good goal.
That's my goal. I don't think Titus is ready for any of them. Maybe I shouldn't watch Die Hard. Maybe I should jump.
If you found the TBS version, then you could do it.
I tried to show Titus Tremors. Y'all remember Tremors?
Yeah, but that's more scary to me than Die Hard.
With the giant underground graboids. This was one of my favorite movies as a kid. Well, so I tried to show Titus, and I didn't realize how many straight up curse words were in that movie, because growing up I always watched it on TBS. What is TBS? Trinity Broadcasting Systems? No, that's TBN.
That's TBN. That's because we're nerds.
Turner Warnell Broadcasting Network.
Broadcast System.
Yeah, and so I need to figure out how I can show Titus the TBS version of Tremors. Maybe I'll watch Rocky, all the Rockies.
Yeah.
That's good. I don't think there's any. Adrian's not naked anywhere.
Yeah, there's probably curse words, huh? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's hard. But
my goal is to just watch some old movies.
Just to chillax.
Just chill. My other goal is to not gain any weight.
That's a good goal.
Guys, I've been nailing it. I have not gained any weight since October.
Good. That's great.
Usually, like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, 5 to 7.
Oh, okay.
And you do that 10 years in a row.
Yeah.
Speaking of pants.
Speaking of pants, that's
shopping.
what it is. Yeah, then you have to go pants shopping. But the lull can make you, in old seasons, I remember getting like anxious halfway through the week. That like, I'm not doing anything. I'm not being productive. What am I going to do? What's about to happen? And I couldn't just relax in the like, just take time off, just rest, just be okay. But I think that same thing can translate in our life sometimes when we're in lulls and we feel like anxious about like, what am I doing right now? Instead of enjoying a little bit the lull, enjoying the slow, enjoying the rhythm that's not quite the same, because it allows us to reset and to recalibrate.
Well, it's changing the rhythm.
Yes.
It's intentionally changing the rhythm. The music that I listen to when I'm running intervals or squatting or deadlifting or some heavy weights, I'm listening to music that's a much higher beats per minute.
Yes.
But if I'm like laying in a hammock reading a book, I'm not listening to like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm not listening to that. I'm listening to something different. And I think that we have to lead our lives the same way. That if the calendar doesn't need da-da-da-da-da-da, then
correct.
Then like be cool slowing down.
It's really good.
Slow down. We this year are canceling a service on a Sunday. So December 31st is a Sunday. And so we've decided that we're going to have what we're calling Sabbath Sunday.
Yeah.
Instead of coming in and turning the lights on and preaching a message and having worship and having all the teams and kids ministry, that we're going to give everybody the day off. Everybody. We've been grinding here at Moore Church.
Yep.
It's not only Enrique been grinding, everybody's been grinding.
We've been freezing and grinding, both.
Freezing and grinding. It reminds me of Hoagies and Grinders from... Yeah, here's a clip.
Hoagies and grinders, hoagies and grinders. Navy beans, navy beans, navy beans, navy beans. Hoagies and grinders, hoagies and grinders. Navy beans, meatloaf sandwich. Sloppy Joe, sloppy Joe, yeah. Sloppy Joe, sloppy Joe, yeah. Sloppy Joe, sloppy Joe, yeah. Sloppy Joe, sloppy Joe, yeah.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah, Adam Sandler.
Hoagies and grinders and hoagies and navy beans.
I remember it.
Meatloaf sandwich.
You're ridiculous.
Okay, and so we thought it's time to slow down. So what do you need to pull the plug on?
It's good.
Do you need to go and look at Christmas lights every night?
Right.
Do you need to try every restaurant?
Right.
Over the next 2 weeks? Or do you need to just be like, you know what? I'm going to sit down and watch some Chip and Joanne.
Right. Do you just need to unplug from an old rhythm and maybe recognize that in the next year, in 2024, you don't need to plug back into it? Ooh. I think that that's the good part of the lull, is that even in the rest, even in the midst of what feels lazy, sometimes you recognize, oh man, I don't want to reinstall this certain thing back in my life. I don't want to run into next year continuing in this pattern or in this rhythm or in this way that I used to do. Is it Amber Alert? Amber Alert. Always be.
Help them, Jesus. Find somebody's baby.
And you have to.
Y'all need to be praying for Amber Alerts.
What?
If you get an Amber Alert on your phone, don't be annoyed.
Well, yeah.
I always hear people, Amber Alerts. I'm like, God, help whoever.
Yeah, help them find the baby.
Find that baby.
That's good. That's
sad.
Good. It's super sad.
I don't know the story, but every time a phone goes off, my heart breaks a little bit for whatever's happening.
No, you're right.
There's all kind of alerts. There's Amber Alerts. There's Silver Alerts. That's an old person.
I know. That makes me sad too.
There's other ones. There was a Clear Alert the other day. I don't know what the junk that is.
I don't either. But okay, back to what we were talking about.
Random today.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but that's okay. I don't mind it. What were we saying though? Go back. The idea that the rhythms. Have you ever taken a break and recognized, oh dang, I've got some rhythms in my life that I do not want to replug in back when I go back to those rhythms?
Yeah, it's what I sold my Jeep for.
Okay.
I didn't want to.
Right.
But like it just took time and energy and mental focus and all these things. It was like costing me. It was costing me more than it was worth.
Yeah.
Here's a picture. That's absurd. That was super cool and super fun, but like it's not a practical thing. I have 2 little kids. They don't want to ride in it.
In the season of life that you're in.
I'm going to get another one someday. I'm going to get a truck so big everybody thinks I'm a jerk, but that's fine. But like it wasn't for right now. And so I know guys that are playing on 3 softball teams.
Right. This is good.
What are you on 3 softball teams for? I know guys that are they're in 6 fantasy football brackets.
Right.
And like their life is being swamped by fantasy football. Like what? Be on one, but they just don't know how to say no. Like you need to just say no to some stuff.
Sometimes in those lulls, you get the opportunity to realize, oh man, this one thing that I thought was feeding me actually isn't working for me. And there's been lots of times, even like relationally, where I've unplugged from some people and realized like, oh, that voice was so negative in my life. I'm not going to reinstall that this next season. I might still be their friend and like keep them at a distance, but I'm not going to allow them back into the regular rhythm of my life every week, maybe every lunch period or every like time I'm at work that I'm whatever. I'm not going to allow those voices in and that negativity in. There's so many areas I think that when we unplug, we have the opportunity to reevaluate and go, hey, should I put that back in? And so you said it too, though, the workout and the way we're eating, like there's been seasons in Christmas lulls where I've been like, that's enough. I'm not going to eat whatever anymore. And like, it's helped me actually realize, oh, I want to get back on a healthy journey.
Right.
But if I didn't stop and take the time to be still enough to allow myself to really feel that and unplug from everything, I wouldn't be able to find it.
Okay, let's talk about it though. Okay. Because are you lazy in the lull? We're not going to be in the office,
right?
The next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly, yeah.
There might be a meeting or a conversation or something that's happening, but we're not going to be like 9 to 5, bang, bang, bang. I'm not writing a sermon. We're not doing the same kinds of things. But that does not mean that we're just on the couch watching television.
Right.
This is what I sometimes have a hard time with. I drive Rachel a little crazy whenever I have to take time off because what inevitably ends up happening is I'm just kind of walking around the house aimlessly like a pent-up lion in a cage. Like, but what do? I have nothing to hunt. I have nothing to kill. What am I doing here? And she's kind of like, well, just rest. And it took me a while to learn what that is. So like this break, what I know Rachel and I are doing is we're reorganizing our house.
Yes.
Now, we're not going to go breakneck pace, but like the other day, we pulled everything out of Lillian's room.
Yep.
Everything out into the living room. And we started to go through it and sort and get rid of this and get that. And we need to buy a shelf. And, she needs a new bed.
Yeah.
And so like we've started a project.
That's true.
Because I need something to be doing. If I don't have something to do, I'm going to start going a little stir crazy. Crazo. Which if I don't have something planned to do, I'm just going to do my work.
That's a really good thing too.
And so like what I will do is I will just start writing a sermon series that I'm not preaching until March.
Or you'll start sending everybody like ideas or links to things to purchase or next steps of whatever. And that's a super good thing to identify about yourself in the lull. Okay, so who are you? Who is your, what is the word? Default, I guess?
Yeah.
What is your default in a lull? Are you I literally lay on the couch the whole time person? Are you I'm going to go... No, not necessarily for a short amount of time. Am I I'm going to go stir crazy kind of person? And so you have to like prepare for your lull.
Yeah.
Or you end up wasting it. You end up either working through it and making yourself crazy or not actually taking rest. Because we talked about it before. There's a difference between like physical rest, mental rest, all the kind of rests. And you need all of those in a lull. And so that's really smart to say, okay, I need a plan for my rest.
Right. I have I just picked up a project truck.
Yes.
That I won't keep, right? It's to flip. But it's not a high stress, it's real low dollar that I can just I found a bumper, I found a set of wheels, I found this other stuff that it needs, that it's going to keep me mentally preoccupied in a low stress, actually relaxing thing. I like driving an hour and a half to buy a set of wheels at an incredible deal.
It's something that
might stress somebody out, but to me, it's like a therapeutic, calming thing.
Right.
And so like I've got some of those kind of projects that I know I'm jumping on over the next 2 weeks because it just gives me something to aim at that isn't a big deal.
Yeah.
That isn't eternity based.
Yeah. No, it's super good.
Maybe that's the thing. Everything else that I do, I feel like is eternity focused. It's like life change focused, salvation focused. But when I just need to, this truck needs a bumper because the guy bought it from me, kind of dented the front bumper up. Then I can find one in wherever, Texas, and drive 2 hours to buy it for $46 because it's a deal. And it helps me because then I'm driving, I'm listening to music, I'm, whatever.
You're finding that's a hobby for you that like it gives you energy, but restores some of your, rejuvenates some of your, I don't know, excitement, creativity, all of those pieces. I think that's what I've been fearful of in past seasons is that if I eject from things too long, then I won't know how to get back into what I am in. But what I found is that like, no, actually, when I give myself space from that work, I'm able to like kind of get excited about it, kind of come back with refreshed, renewed perspective, kind of maybe have a better, more creative thought about how to handle. I mean, good Lord, the amount of, you said it, eternity perspective, but what it is when you have high stakes in what you do, sometimes, man, you get burnt out in the like trying to solve problems because whoever you are, if you're tugging into more, you're going to be solving problems. That's just who you are or what you have to do. But you can get so like the intensity of that then drains the creativity towards it, the problem solving skills, the thinking, and getting away allows me to go, oh, I can come back to this problem now with new eyes. Did you ever like not be able to solve a Sudoku or like one of those like crossword puzzles and like you stare at it forever, but you have to like walk away sometimes for a day or two. And then when you come back, you're like, oh, there's the answer right there. But I was staring at it for 3 hours and couldn't solve it the other night. It's the same thing that's true in life. If like a lot of times we're in our regular and in our mundane for so long running at the grind at the pace that we're running at. And when we eject from it for a minute, go drive 3 hours to get, that's not me. That's not what I do. I enjoy like a deep conversation or a like going to a restaurant or a new coffee shop or like exploring a new atmosphere. But whatever it is that you do, when you allow yourself that space to do what you enjoy, then you're going to thrive more when you get back into where you're going. Yeah, it's good.
So in the lull, don't beat yourself up and call yourself lazy. It's what I think I used to do is that I could take a day or two, but then after 2 days of not doing anything, I felt like, dude, I'm a loser.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing?
What am I even doing?
I'm not accomplishing anything with my life right now. But like, that's a problem.
Right.
When that's your perspective. You are not a robot.
You're not a robot.
What do people say? You're not a human doing. You're a human being. Like, just be for a minute.
Yeah.
But then understand that you've got to fill some stuff.
Yeah. No, it's super good. What about people who are traveling so much in the lull that they feel like, oh, I don't have space for this? Something I used to do wrong in the lull is I used to fill my entire lull with travel, with family, with the things where it was like I felt like I had to see the people, do the things because I'm so busy in all my life. And I had to learn that it was okay to then like give myself the boundary of, oh, these 2 days are just for me. Like it was really hard for me because I really felt like, no, I have to give these days to my kids, these days to my mom, these days to, you know, this family member, these days to these people. And I had to realize like, oh, I'm allowed to give myself, just Whitney, 24, 48 hours for me, for whatever the junk I want, not for what anybody else wants.
The struggle when you're a people pleaser is realizing that you're a person too.
Yeah.
This is not like a slam calling Whitney a people pleaser.
No.
I think we're all wanting to please the people that we love.
Yeah.
And so if you find yourself traveling here and there and everywhere and all places, but it's because somebody else wants you to go.
Right.
You're a person that needs to be in the pleasing equation also. And so sometimes stop traveling.
No.
Or like, you know what I see a lot of is people that have money and they have maybe a vacation home or somewhere that they go or they vacation or they have a, what's it called? A timeshare.
Yeah.
And they're wearing themselves out. They're wearing themselves out in their blessing.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't have to go to, I know you have that cabin, but you don't have to go every other weekend. Mm-hmm. You don't have to. Like, I know you spend all this money and that you like taking a selfie there. You know, like you're in Colorado and you like taking the selfie and flexing, like, look at me, I'm at Colorado. Look at me, I'm in California. Look at me, I'm at my ranch, whatever. But like, dude, lull. Like, get lazy in the lull.
Yeah.
Sing a lullaby in the lull.
Sing a lull. No, I was talking with Enrique as he's taking this time, and he was like, it's going to take me a few days to spool down before I can even like allow myself to even feel that I'm down in the lull. And I think sometimes we get so like, okay, and the break is going to happen, and then ready, we're going to leave on this day, and then you come back to your life busy, more worn out than you were when you left it.
Yes. One of the things that helps me a lot is to take a break, is to work ahead of the break. So like right when we get back from our break, we're going to do with our staff team something we call Harbor Weekend. We've talked about it here before. It's essentially a staff retreat, except very different.
Yeah, except not at all.
And so Whitney and I have already worked out
a lot of what we're going to talk about.
A lot of what we're going to do at Harbor Weekend. And so what that does is now on day 3 of Christmas break, I already have a document that's made.
Yeah.
A lot of it's already down on paper. So all those things that are going to rumble around my head, I've already written down. And if something does pop into my head, I've got a place to dump it.
Yeah.
I open the doc, sentence, close. And it's out of my brain. And so like, I know the sermon series that are coming up through Easter.
Yeah.
It's already planned. We've already scheduled haven't scheduled every date. And so because we've done a little pre-work, it helps me not have to jump on it.
Yeah. No, that's super good. It helps you not feel the anxiety. For me, it was anxiety of like, oh gosh, I have to get to that. Or I would wake up in the middle of the night with the list running, like the ticker count is like running in my head of you've got to do this when you get back and you got to do this when you get back and even if I would put it down on paper, it would feel like, oh, but don't forget about it. Like it just never stopped. But when I would work ahead and then plan for the rest, then I'm able to mentally shift my brain to go, nope, I've already handled that and I'm going to keep handling it. I think that's a super important piece.
What are some other lulls like in the year? So like we're talking about this one in calendar context.
Well, that's the part I think that's super important to like know. So there's the lulls of Christmas, like this lull of Christmas, but like sometimes there's a lull in life. You and I have been through a season of lull. And I think for a minute we were just like so frustrated by the lull that we couldn't actually enjoy it. We've been at a little bit of a slower growth pace in the church, a little bit slower season of like some of the running and gunning that we've been doing. Now we've been running and gunning in some other areas, but in the areas that we wished we could have kept pushing forward in, but didn't have the capacity to because of the building renovation, all of these pieces, the moving in, the changing that we've been doing. And it's like kind of now until we've gotten to that end of that season that we've been able to look back and go, wait, this has actually been a beautiful season.
Right.
I wish we would have a little bit more slowed down and just enjoyed the restfulness that has been in this slower season, this slower time. Because I think sometimes you get anxious. The thing about Christmas and New Year's is I know when it ends. But I get anxious in the lulls when I don't know when they end. I don't know when this season is changing. You know, we talk, especially in church world, we talk about, my kids tease me all the time. So I'll be like, that season. And they're like, you're so churchy. Because that's like a thing that we say. But like the seasons of church, the seasons of life, the seasons of ministry, they change, but it's not like January, February, March, now we go to spring. It's not like that. You don't know for sure that the season is changing until you're kind of in the middle of it changing. And so often I feel like I look back on my life and I see these lull seasons of life and I'm like, dang it, I was so scared I would get lazy.
Right.
I was so scared that I wouldn't get to where I was going. I was so scared that it would, be the rest of my life that I didn't savor and enjoy those moments.
For me, it's not that I'm scared of it. It's that I'm annoyed by it.
Yeah.
And I'm so annoyed that it's a lull that I drive harder.
Yeah.
And so I do double time in the lull, which is the opposite of what you should do.
Right.
If it's a lull, double time is not how you get out of the lull. Sometimes the lull just needs to run its course.
No, it's true. And
like for us, moving from the pig to moving here, people-wise, congregationally, outreach evangelistically,
right,
it was a lull.
Right.
And I'm really proud of us that we didn't do a dozen Facebook ads.
It was
we just talked the other day about at Christmas, we didn't do one talking head video to promo Christmas.
Yeah.
You know why? This is not the moment.
Yeah.
They say strike when the iron's hot. The iron's not hot.
No, it was barely like lukewarm.
And so what I normally try to do,
right,
what I normally want to do is stoke the fire and get it hot and swing the hammer on the anvil.
Yeah.
But dude, all that does is wear everything out.
Yeah. No, and today even, so we talking about going to Twisted Root, I felt so like...
The root? I didn't eat a shake. I wanted a shake.
You did it? You should have. I mean,
no, I shouldn't have.
Oh, well, you can. I don't know. Like every now and then.
I'd be falling asleep right now.
That's true. But what I was proud of that is like our team is there. We're all together. We're having a good time. We're really enjoying each other's company, like the unity, the fun. But it's because you're right. It feels like it was the first season where we didn't drive so hard in the midst of a lull. And I know there's been other times where we didn't. I mean, in COVID, we drove so hard. And I'm not saying it was right or wrong. I still don't know, because what the junk even was that. But like we were trying so hard to pull up from this lull. The truth of the matter was the whole world was in a lull.
Yeah.
There was literally nothing more we could do than what we did, but we still felt like it wasn't enough, And there's these times where I think we learned from that so much that in this last season, we allowed ourselves to go, hey, we can wear ourselves out and we can burn each other out, or we can have the like understanding of where we are and allow ourselves to step into it. I think for people who are in the season with young kids, like it's easy to feel like, no, I got to keep going. I got to keep pushing. No, you got young kids. It changes the dynamic of your home. It changes the situation in the season that you're in. And that season won't last very long.
Right.
So don't get so bugged by the lull of right now, we have to be either get a babysitter or be home at a certain time for our kids to get in bed. Because guess what? One day they won't be there anymore.
Right.
One day it'll shift again. But we have to really pay attention to the lulls. And I think so often, unless they're scheduled on the calendar, we miss it. And we get pissed in it, and we screw it up.
You alluded to it earlier, but like understanding the season that you're in is wisdom.
For sure.
It's cold here in Texas right now.
Right.
Getting cold. And so you know what I'm not wearing outside? Shorts and flip-flops.
No.
I want to dress appropriately for the weather.
Correct.
And I think that what you just said about if you have young kids, like for Rachel and I, we have an 8-year-old and a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
So you know what we don't have all the time? Amazing, incredible, consistent date nights.
Right.
We don't. Like, it's really hard to get a sitter, go into Dallas,
right,
spend $150 at a dinner,
and then the money on the babysitter,
and then come home, and it's 10:30, and I'm trying to wake up in the morning, and like, it's not the season. But yet, in 10 years, those kids are probably not even going to be living in the house.
Right.
And so in 10 years, you know what we're going to have? You want to drive to Oklahoma for dinner? I'm saying
right.
There's going to change. And so you have to just be aware of the season you're in. Dress appropriately.
Right. No, it's super good wisdom. And I think we don't, for a couple of reasons, because we want to be in a season over there. But what happens is we wish our life away. You've talked about that movie before, that Click movie.
Oh, dude, Adam Sandler. That's the second Adam Sandler.
Yeah, he's on both our walls.
He's a theologian. He's a great man. If you haven't seen Click, it'll mess you up. If you're a dad and haven't seen Click, it's about to mess you up. He finds that he gets a magic remote from Bed Bath & Beyond. And so he can hit pause and rewind.
Shout out to Bed Bath & Beyond that went out of business.
Pause and rewind. And dude, he ends up just fast forwarding his whole life.
Yeah.
And it will jack your stuff up.
Yeah. But we do that in all kinds of seasons where we wish we were over here. We're not. Instead of just like being still in the lull of it and allowing ourselves to like rest, recoup, regroup, whatever it is, recognize what needs to be unplugged and replugged in. And we instead wish it away. And I'm like, no, stop it. Stop wishing away.
I'm going to bring up something that's going to make me mad at my own self.
Oh, all right.
We haven't talked about it. It might make you mad at me too. Maybe not. I think you're going to agree with me. Remember we've talked about this thing before where we say energy is a choice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Energy is a choice. And I've taught it a bunch of times. And here's what I say. I say energy is a choice. Energy does not come from food. Because after Thanksgiving dinner, you eat all this food and then how do you feel afterwards? Oh, I'm sleepy.
Right.
Exactly. You're sleepy. So energy doesn't come from food. Energy does not come from sleep. Have you ever taken a nap in the middle of the afternoon and had to wake up and then get back to work? No, energy does not come from sleep. Where does energy come from? It's a choice.
Yeah.
This is something I still believe and something I still teach, that energy
is a decision.
Is a decision.
Yeah.
That I can choose energy. But maybe I shouldn't always choose energy.
Correct.
Because if I always choose energy, eventually the bucket that I'm pulling it out of is dry.
Yeah.
And like it's something God's been convicting me of a little bit because I've taught it to our team. We tell it.
Yeah.
It's basically man up.
Right.
It's basically
lead and bleed. Energy's a choice.
Yeah.
Man up. Do the work. Now, listen, that's real and true.
And needed.
Because the problem is there's a lot of people who want to be a leader, but they don't show up and be a leader. They show up sad or tired or busy or whatever. But the only way you are able to draw from the well of your energy is if you are in the healthy balance and rhythms of life in the rest of your life.
And if you demand energy out of yourself too many times,
you will burn out.
You will burn out. And so, you know what else is a choice?
Rest. Yeah.
The lull.
Yeah.
Laying down in the lull.
Yeah.
It's a choice. And so like our hope for you is that in this Christmas season over the next week or two or whatever your like work schedule is, relax, dude.
Yeah.
Relax. You don't have to gain another client. Maybe you don't, if you're a realtor, you don't have to show another house. You don't have to go chase that other sales lead down.
Right.
And you don't have to work on that side hustle. And you know what I'm saying? Like we have all these money making avenues and all these things that we're doing. Or you don't have to take your kids to ice because your sister did and you want to compete with her.
Right.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to wear a new shirt to your grandma's house. Right. Just so that, like all of these things that we do that cost us, not just money, but cost us.
Energy, stress, time.
You don't have to.
No, it's super important. And if you don't allow yourself to find the right rest and then you've just wasted the lull. I think that's the part that is like, we don't see the lull as a gift. We see it as a curse. And, if we will allow ourselves, I am now fully on board of seeing the Christmas break as a gift.
Yeah.
I used to see it as like half a gift and half a curse, right? But now I fully see it that way. But in life, when there's a lull, I'm having to teach. It's a new it sounds whatever. I'm like 40-something years old, but it's a new concept to really realize. Oh, maybe this lull from God is actually a gift from God. Yeah. Maybe he's actually allowing some space for conversation, for a deeper connection, for finding some space for unity, whatever it is. that allows for more. It doesn't feel like more, but it is. Sorry.
You're right. Golly, Whitney swallowed a dust bunny.
I don't know what happened.
My first sabbatical, my first trip sabbatical that I ever did, I went to California. Is that the first one?
Yep.
And so I went to the redwood forest just for 3 or 4 days by myself, and rented an Airbnb cottage deal. And you know what I did the first 2 days that I was there?
Nothing.
No. I overly stressed myself out to try to take advantage of quiet to plan. And I took all of these big sticky notes, multicolored, and I started hanging sticky notes all over. I mean, it looked like a serial killer. You know how they have the movies of all the newspapers and the red strings and stuff? Dude, I had sticky notes over every wall of this Airbnb, and I'm writing out ideas and sermon series.
I was like, what were you writing?
Everything. Sermon series, how I need to better myself, next advancement steps, projections of growth. And for 2 days.
Let's just talk about it.
I'm saying.
But let's talk about why were you even there in the first place?
Because my bucket was empty.
You were so burned the junk out.
Yeah.
You were so tired. You were so tapped. And yet you went and then drew more from your empty reserve of nothingness.
I thought if I can figure all of this out, I'll be able to rest. I'll be able to rest. And so guys, maybe don't journal.
Right.
Over the break. Don't plan.
Right.
This is what I'm saying. I think that we want so desperately to get ahead, and if you're we're Christians, right? We believe in Jesus. Yeah. We're down with God, right? And so Jesus forever, right? And so
Jesus freaks.
Yeah. But did you know what you also don't need to do? Read through all of Romans in the next week.
No.
You also should fast.
Right.
I think that sometimes as spiritual leaders in these lull moments, we're okay, I'm going to dive so deep with God that I'm going to come out on fire with the Holy Spirit. And I'm okay, but maybe you
and your kids over there just hey, Dad, could we just play Legos sometimes?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And so I think that that's what I would do to myself is I would rest, but then swing the pendulum into this other thing of mental energy that wasn't really restful.
Yeah.
Because I would tell myself, if I can get ahead there, then I'll be good to run here when I get back.
Yeah. No, that's really...
That's all I'm trying to get people to...
Not do.
Yeah,
it's super good. No.
Go watch a baking show.
Right.
I don't know what you like. I can't watch baking shows.
No, I remember...
Because if I watch a baking show, I'm buying a cake.
Then you want to eat a cake. Yeah.
Well, I can't tell how many times Rachel and I, when we lived in Houston, we watched a baking show. And at the end, I'd be you want a piece of cake? She'd be uh-huh. And we would literally drive to this bakery around the corner and just buy a piece of cake.
That's really funny.
Not good.
I know. But what was I about to say about that? I don't know. Dang it. I lost my brain.
The lull. Me writing on scrap pieces of paper all over. I had so many pieces of paper. Oh, and I took the big ones. You know, the big...
of course you did.
The big sheets.
In your luggage?
In my luggage.
To fly to California?
Yeah, it was embarrassing.
Oh.
I mean, now that I look... It's just a lesson I had to learn.
Right.
And so now when I go, I'll take my Bible and my journal, and that's it. And then McKinley makes me a worship...
and then you cry.
We worship playlist, and some weird song that they play at coffee houses wrecks me.
It's good. No, it's what I'm thinking is you are doing something that's against your normal.
Right.
But then speaks to I know this sounds weird what I'm about to say, but your inner child. This is what I remember. I remember before you went, or maybe it was another time when you were researching rest. Dang it.
Okay, we just cut because Whitney had a coughing.
I keep coughing all the time.
We almost had to call ambulance.
No, we
almost had to call Mason to come up here and zap her.
Hey,
every once in a while,
that would be a good story.
Every once in a while, Whitney be having a cough and a little fit.
Usually it's because I keep talking while eating and then I choke. But this is just I don't know, allergy thing happening. Okay, what I remember is that I don't remember who or where you read this, probably in a book that you were reading to try to help you rest. I don't know. That you were what did you love to do when you were 7? Mm-hmm. Do you remember this? And you don't even remember?
Keep going.
And it was finding the things you loved to do. Like when you were 7, you loved to ride a bike.
Yes.
And so you like, as we get older, we put all these parameters on like what we must do. But instead it was like, you were like, I can color on a coloring book. And I think like in the lull, we have to learn what brings me joy? What actually fills me back up?
You know what I want?
Dang it.
You know what I want? I want a jet ski. Does anybody out there have a jet ski I can borrow in this summer? You know why? I went on one of my trips by myself and I rented a jet ski, and dude, it was the best. I was 7. I was just out on this jet ski. I'd never ridden one before, but I was like the most fun, free thing. I went to another place and rented a Vespa.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, it was the greatest thing I ever did because I was just a kid on a skateboard. I was just like out doing stuff. I rode my Vespa to a movie theater by myself and I watched Thor, Love and Thunder. It was the worst movie ever.
That is the worst movie ever.
It was the worst. But it was so good for me to just do nothing. So like, schedule yourself some nothing this holiday.
Go see a movie. Do whatever makes you happy.
Pray for girl Whitney.
Yeah, why? I can't stop coughing.
We've had to cut a couple times for her cough. We're going to keep this one in. We've had to cut.
I can't help it.
We've had to cut a couple coughing fits.
I don't know what's going on.
So if we've had some really awkward cuts.
That's what it is. Sorry, guys. 'Tis the season.
'Tis the season to...
Hey, you were sick last week. We just didn't have a podcast the week you were sick.
You know why? I feel great now because I don't push through. Hey. I recognize my season. I have a lull in the lazy. I was take some... Whitney, you know what Whitney says to me? She says, you know what you need to do? You need to take some Dayquil.
This is what I told him.
That's my push-through medicine. I said, that's why you stay sick for a month and a half.
Yeah, he said, I am not one who pushes through.
I lay down and say, I'm sick.
Yeah.
Heal me, Jesus, in 3 days. Then I force my body to defend itself, and I get better.
Not me. I just take Dayquil and cough and show up.
So our next episode, she'll probably still be coughing.
Hey, who knows? We love you guys. Have a great rest of your holiday.
Excited about 2024. If you have any questions, ideas, topics, one of our favorite things to do is to get topics from you guys and to have some conversation about those. Let's so good. Love you.
Love y'all.